Welcome, welcome, friends, to the very first episode of Forgotten Wisdom Radio. I'm really delighted you're joining us today. We're big admirers, you could say, friends of both the Forgotten Wisdom brand and, of course, the very insightful author Spiritwalker. And today we're embarking on an exploration that honestly feels more relevant than ever. Our goal really is to get a handle on the deep motivations and the practical side of choosing an off-grid lifestyle in, our super connected modern world. We're drawing insights straight from author Spiritwalker's own journey, his writings, specifically his article, Why Would Someone Want to Live Off-Grid Today? Part 1.
Yeah, it sets up this fascinating question, doesn't it? I mean, we live in this age of convenience. Everything's designed for ease. So why? Why would someone deliberately step away from all that? Hopefully we can, challenge a few assumptions today, maybe spark some aha moments about what independence really means.
Okay, so let's unpack this journey, starting right with author Spiritwalker's own experience. The article gives this really vivid picture of the first 6.5 years, living completely off-grid. And get this, without any renewable energy initially. Can you even imagine? Oil lamps for light. That was it. The only, modern tech was a laptop. And he had this ingenious low-tech way to power it, probably, a 12-volt battery, maybe charged off his car or a tiny generator sometimes. It just shows incredible dedication right from the start.
It really does. And it highlights something crucial, I think. For Spiritwalker, it seems off-grid wasn't just about not having technology or being forced into simplicity. Because even when they later got solar panels donated, his core lifestyle didn't fundamentally change.
Yeah.
Which tells you it's deeper than just tech independence. It's about, a connection to the land, a natural rhythm. Technology supports that, but it doesn't define it. It's about the values, not just the setup.
Exactly. And the story just keeps getting richer over time. We actually have an update.
Yeah.
His off-grid experience now totals an amazing 16 years. 16. That's almost 2 decades living this way continuously. So it started with 9 years building a homestead in the Missouri Ozarks. Solid roots. But then, maybe even more remarkably, they spent the next 8 years as traveling nomads. Still 100% off-grid the entire time. That's not just theory. That's lived expertise, tested in different places, different situations.
Right. And what's so compelling about that long stretch is it goes beyond just interesting stories, it feels like a blueprint, maybe, for stepping away from what he calls these fragile systems. When you see someone manage it for 16 years, adapting from a fixed place to being constantly on the move, well, those principles have been seriously stress tested. It's wisdom earned, through actually doing it day in, day out.
So, okay, with all that experience, the big question remains, why? Why stick with it for so long? Especially when, let's be honest, modern life is always calling you back with its comforts. Spiritwalker consistently talks about 2 main reasons, and they really hit home. The first one is about a deep spiritual connection, harmony with nature. He talks about connecting to a spiritual side, but he's clear, it's not about organized religion. It's more about having this really profound, healthy respect for nature, immersing yourself in those feel-good energies you find in wild places. He finds incredible peace, serenity out there, and he even says the animals become like companions, giving the sense of belonging you often miss in our more isolated lives today. It's like becoming part of the ecosystem again, not just looking at it.
And if you connect that to just the human condition today, it's such a contrast, isn't it? So many people feel disconnected from nature, from each other sometimes, from the basics. Our lives are often inside, looking at screens. Spiritwalker's focus here really suggests we're tapping back into something fundamental, that need to belong, to have purpose, to connect with the living world. It's like a reminder, we are part of nature, and maybe we lose something vital when we forget that.
Absolutely. And then there's the second main driver he talks about, which is this really strong, deep concern about modern food and health. He puts it very directly. He has a problem with the food that is being made today and sold in the grocery stores labeled as food. It's a direct quote. He believes quite strongly that more of that so-called food is becoming more poisonous to people each year. And he specifically calls out genetically modified foods. That's a big concern for him. He sees changing food in a lab as, kind of like playing God and messing with nature's plan. So this isn't just like a dietary choice. It's a deep skepticism about the whole industrial food system, a desire for pure natural nourishment, food grown the way it's meant to be.
Yeah, and look, whatever your personal views on GMOs are, his stance definitely makes you think critically, doesn't it? About where our food comes from, the whole supply chain. His journey really highlights this pursuit of natural health and taking control, self-reliance. It challenges that easy convenience of the supermarket. Makes you ask, okay, what am I really eating? What are the long-term effects? His concern comes from wanting purity, wanting control over his own health through food.
Right. So, okay, those are the powerful whys. But what about the hows? How does this actually work day to day for Spiritwalker and his family?
Well, it really boils down to comprehensive self-sufficiency. They grow their own food, nutrient-rich stuff, they hunt, they fish responsibly, they forage for wild edibles, they raise livestock, and, really importantly, they build strong community ties through barter and trade, people who think alike. Creating this resilient local network, outside the usual money system. And that commitment to natural, organic ways is like non-negotiable for them. He explicitly says no chemicals of any kind are allowed in our garden or animal pens. None. The food they forage is obviously wild, organic by definition. And what's really insightful is how much they value trust in their trading relationships. They know the people they trade with. They know their methods. They trust the origin of everything. That network isn't just transactional. It's built on shared values, mutual support. Totally different from clicking add to cart from some unknown global supplier.
It's intentionality in
Yeah.
everything. Spiritwalker's advice at the end of the article sums it up perfectly, I think. He says, grow and raise as much as you possibly can. Really know what you and your family are eating. And then just watch. Observe how good health comes naturally when you make those conscious choices. It's such a powerful, practical message for anyone wanting more control over their health.
Definitely. And these practices, these skills, they tie right back into the whole spirit of the Forgotten Wisdom brand, don't they? It's all about uncovering those timeless, enduring arts of homesteading, exploring the liberating paths of off-grid living, getting sharp on crucial skills of survival, and thinking mindfully about prepping for a resilient future. It's about remembering what our ancestors knew, adapting it, and using it to build a stronger, more grounded life today.
And, if you're listening to this and feeling inspired, maybe a little overwhelmed, but definitely curious. If you want to learn more about building these essential skills, forging your own path towards independence, well, there are some truly fantastic resources available through Nomadic Enterprises and the Forgotten Wisdom brand. The very principles we've been talking about today, they're explored really deeply there.
Right. Nomadic Enterprises, their whole mission is summed up as guiding your journey, crafting your world. And that really comes through in author Spiritwalker's work. He's not just telling stories, he's actively guiding people, sharing that hard-won wisdom from, 16 years of actually living it. He's walked the walk, and he's documented it so others can learn.
Exactly. And that practical guidance really shines in his book, Preparing for the Collapse, How to Live Off-Grid by author Spiritwalker. Seriously, this is more than just a book. It's meant to be a comprehensive blueprint, a guide to breaking free from those systems we rely on, the ones that can feel pretty fragile sometimes, and reclaiming the kind of independence our ancestors knew. If you've ever thought, what would I actually do without power, without the grocery store, without banks? This book gives you real, actionable answers. It's like a field manual for self-reliance. And inside, wow, it covers so much practical ground. You learn exactly how to grow your own food, good food, pretty much anywhere, any soil, any climate. How to raise livestock, chickens, rabbits are examples he uses for meat, milk, eggs, sure, but also for trade. How to find and purify your own water source, super critical. Then there's building shelters, setting up kitchens, heating systems, even compost toilets for, totally self-contained setup. He even goes into how to live without a bank account, credit cards, a regular job, financial independence strategies, and, crucially, how to protect your space, your resources, if things get unstable in the wider world. And it gets even more specific, like real gems in there. He shares methods for buying off-grid land without needing banks or credit, sometimes for under $500. Makes it seem possible, right? Where to find building materials for free or through barter, cutting down those initial costs massively, understanding the difference between a garden just for food and one for medicine, and why you really need both for holistic health. And of course, solid strategies for securing your homestead. This isn't just ideas, it's stuff he's done for years.
And that's the key thing, isn't it? What makes this book so valuable? It's not theory. It's not stuff pulled from other books. This is all straight from his 16 years of actually living it, day in, day out. It's real world, tested, boots on the ground knowledge, refined by experience, designed to equip you for genuine resilience.
The book, again, is Preparing for the Collapse, How to Live Off-Grid by author Spiritwalker. It's available in paperback, hardback, and ebook, so you can choose what works best for you. Prices range from just $4.99 up to $17.96, which is pretty amazing value for this level of info. To grab your copy and also check out other helpful things like garden seeds, off-grid power gear, just visit the Forgotten Wisdom brand website or go straight to nomadicenterprises.com. That's nomadicenterprises.com. They even have customer service, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 days a week, ready to help you out. So, as we wrap up this first episode of Forgotten Wisdom Radio, I really hope this gives you something to think about. Your own relationship with convenience, with self-sufficiency, your connection to the natural world. Maybe think about one small step you could take, something intentional.
Yeah, and maybe leave you with this question to ponder. What bit of that ancestral wisdom, those old ways of being resourceful and resilient, what piece of that could you reconnect with in your own life? Could it make your life feel, I don't know, more empowered, more grounded? It might be simpler than you think.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, for joining us on this exploration. We really hope you found it insightful. Remember, you can find all the resources, including Spiritwalker's essential book, over at nomadic-enterprises.com. We look forward to connecting with you again soon, right here on Forgotten Wisdom Radio.